Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the round table. I am live here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 9 p.m. GMT. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Please do make a note of it because YouTube sucks donkey dong when it comes to sending out these notifications. In fact, today we are joined by the Ellie Moses. Say hello, Ellie Moses.
How's everyone in the chat going? Hail the table. Can we get a hail? And everyone hit that like button. Let's try and get the same amount of likes as viewers because we've been smashing it lately. And I know Vassie's been calling it every stream. So let's smash it, guys, for Mr. H. Come on.
And we also have Tom from Midnight's Edge joining as well, just swooping in there all on the side. How are we doing, good sir?
Oh, doing about as well as I was before. How are you guys doing?
Yeah, you were particularly good earlier, weren't you?
I've been on the phone all morning with doctors and everything else.
Oh dear, that's not good.
Yeah,
good
hopefully everything's all right. We'll see.
Is this for you or?
Yeah, it's for me.
Yeah. I see. Well, fingers crossed. Real quick, we've got a brand new member on the channel, so thank you so much, Palpatine Rex. Epic name and epic picture. Isn't that from a movie Black Sheep? I think. Epic either way. Abe Froman 79p, thank you so much. And also, basically, what's the topic today? Well, we're talking about the baying mob going from Gina Carano now to Rosario. Is that how we say it? That's the pronunciation, isn't it? Rosario Dawson?
Yeah, as we kind of predicted, she would be the next one to go, or at least be attacked, because she had actually was on their radar before Gina.
She was, and I've got a lot of articles here, and interestingly, so we're going to cover all of this. I've got the articles up, and I think what's so fascinating now that we have Gina Carano's interview to relate back to, right? Do you remember she said they wanted to get me to speak to the LGBTQ group, the 40 odd people that were there, right?
40.
There's an article where Rosario Dawson was interviewed specifically for the Gay Times. And I'm wondering to myself now in retrospect, based on Gina Carano's interview, whether that was staged, whether it was put on because Disney were like, we can't have you doing this. If
could have been.
Do you see what I mean? Like now we're getting these kind of reveals come out. I think you can look at these things in retrospect and go, oh, okay, I think there's something to that there.
And if that's true, then that's also proof that Gina's right that it doesn't matter. They're still going to come after you.
Yeah,
well, we knew that anyway, didn't we? We knew that was always the case, to be honest. So basically, what spurred all of this on? Let's have a look. Unless you want to bring us in with that, Tom. I don't know if you want to kind of...
I just know kind of a vague version of it, unless you got an article that actually covers it. But basically, it has to do with a former assistant or something like that worked for Rosario Dawson, who happened to be trans, and they got caught stealing or something like that and confronted by Rosario's mother. There was an altercation. And in the court case, the individual claimed a bunch of transphobia and all this other crap. Well, the case was thrown out. But it doesn't matter. Ever since then, they've been gunning for calling her transphobe.
Yeah. But then also, they purposely chose to drop all of those claims as well, didn't they? So that's an important part of it, which I guess needs a little bit more emphasis on it, really.
True.
Which is 100% important, because if they themselves, the instigator of the claim, drops it, something probably there, to say.
Right.
So this all kind of came to light now because we have this brand new epic. It's not epic. Inverse article, and this is kind of what spurred it all on. This was released 2 days ago. And it's fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating. It's just that kind of baying mob again, consistently, just this baying mob time and time again. So for a franchise almost 45 years old, Star Wars remains timeless, blah, 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 blah. So that's not important. We go all through the Gina Carano crap. How did it happen? And
bunch of spin.
With this part, and it's what I said on your page, right, when we did the stream earlier. This part it's just astounding. It is astounding. How did it happen? An alliance of extremely dedicated and extremely young fans. What?
Yeah, the spin in this article makes my head hurt.
They are not fans. They are just have
Well,
their
I mean,
own
they're not
agenda,
fans anyway.
and
They're
they
not-
see one issue and they start attacking the person for that. They don't. I don't think they even care about Star Wars. They were just attacking her based on what she did.
So this is obviously discussing how Gina got taken down, but this is the setup because it then explains to us how it moved forwards. But then we go further down, and they call them stans. Now, this was a new term for me. I've seen it I've seen it online. I've heard what a stan is now. You explained it over on Midnight's Edge that it comes from the Eminem song Stan.
Yeah, and it's short for stalker fan.
I just think to myself, what? Like, why? Why is this something that you're going to be proud of? Why would you call yourself a stan of something? That is nothing to be proud of. Are you a stan of anything, Ellie?
No, I don't think so. Maybe a stan of you watching your videos.
Right, I'm booting you off the stream now. See you later. A stalker fan. You're a stalker.
No, I'm not.
Fan.
Of course, no.
Well,
I'm
there
not
we
gonna
go
stalk
then.
someone.
That's what I mean.
If you've heard, if it comes from the Eminem song "Stan," that's like a proper stalker fan. Like,
yeah, but that again, that is what it is. Yeah. So, and they set this up that I'm consistently amazed by these I guess it's new media, isn't it? When these are, it's just articles online. But I'm consistently amazed by what these people actually print. Like, why are you promoting this behavior? Like, why are you saying that this is okay? This isn't okay.
This is the root of a lot of it. I mean, or at least this is how this is what you just said. How is this okay? This is how they make it okay. They justify this shit through hundreds of crappy articles like this that spin the entire narrative out of proportion, which, you already passed the Gina stuff. But if you actually read it, shit's out of order. Obviously, it's a bunch of conjecture and assumptions, and they're just going with the narrative flow that the media is putting out there, completely ignoring anything that Gina had said in her interview. And then you have the other one recently that came out was the Mary Sue article where the so-called journalist claims it took him 4 hours to get through the interview because she was so angry and upset. I said, no, she's probably so angry and upset because Gina's telling the truth. And if you actually are a human being, if you actually have a soul, if you actually have a semblance of any kind of empathy or sympathy for any other humans on the planet, and you watch that interview and you were part of that movement, you should feel guilty because you realize you've just tried to destroy the career of a completely innocent person. Because if you watch that interview and you still feel afterwards that she's lying and in the wrong, then I'm sorry, then there's something wrong with you. Because you can watch that interview and you can see that she's coming from her heart. She's explaining what she means. And at no point did anybody, was she ever trying to be mean to anybody was what I was trying to say.
Yeah, I got to interrupt here because we got a few people saying fake news. Not at all. Like this is old news, actually. Rodri, I'm surprised. Like, where have you been?
I predicted this shit, man.
Old news.
Yeah.
They've been looking to cancel her for about a year. So I'm confused with why you're saying it's fake news, bruh. It's old news, and it's very relevant.
Well, what's funny about this article, too, Mr. H, is they even talk about how difficult it is going to be to cancel her. But that's the whole point, is that they're calling the troops together is what she's doing.
Well, it's rallying, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, that's what it is. So the power of stands. Wow. Douche canoes on Twitter, basically. People with literally more time on their hands than brain cells,
Absolutely, yes.
In the vast cafeteria of Star Wars fandom, there are all sorts of tables. There are the rumor Redditors, the theory YouTubers, the podcasters, the novel evangelists, the reactors, the shippers. The list goes on. But on Twitter, there's one main group single-handedly fueling the enthusiasm for Star Wars stands. Those dicks. Oh, mate, the inverse are very, 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 very positive about these people. They're not single-handedly fueling enthusiasm for Star Wars. They're single-handedly essentially destroying it. Like, unbelievable. John Davies jumps in with £5, keeping the lights on. Thank you, good sir, and valued member of the channel. For all members who are on the channel and in the chat, the Doom Eternal playthrough will be coming soon, as well as patrons watching as well. It will be coming soon. Sorry, we're really busy today. Trying to set up a gym bench. Took time. It took, I don't know what to say to you. It took a long time. I don't know why. But anyway, thank you so much.
Because men don't use instructions. That's why.
No, use instructions. There was just massive.
I was kidding, of course.
One of the boxes is over here. It's huge. And the other one's in the back of the truck. It's a pain in the ass. But if anyone wants to help support the channel, super chats are there, and you also get your question read out, or just comment read out. Anything you want to say, it's just commentary, isn't it? Are they calling Gina and Rosario so that the shows don't happen and your only option is the High Republic? Well, Tom has theories on this, don't you, good sir?
I wish it was that simple. It's more nefarious than that. Like, I mean, if you clearly look at this, Kathy's trying to sabotage anything and everything that is good and holy in Star Wars right now, and trying
Favreau as well, isn't it?
Yeah, basically taking down, because what happens then if Rosario gets fired? Well, then that means they either have to recast Ahsoka or not do the show. Same thing with the Rangers of the New Republic. Chances are that show's not happening now, folks. Basically because Kathleen probably knew that the chances of her shows getting off the ground were slim to none. So she had to make sure that all of Favreau's shows were going to basically go in the toilet. And I wouldn't be surprised if she was the one that mandated that Baby Grogu had to leave in the second season as well. Yeah, and to just kind of get back at her, that Favreau had him go to Luke, and she's like, yeah, whatever, and didn't really anticipate the reaction that was going to have.
Yeah, no, I don't agree with that.
Why would Kathleen want to sabotage basically two strong female characters? Supposedly, what she stands for. Remember, the Force is female.
I can tell you
why. It doesn't. It's not what she stands for.
Isn't it agenda against Filoni and Favreau? You reckon because of their success?
Partially. Here's the other problem. Nobody likes Rey.
Oh, no one. Yeah, not many people.
Gina
is say not all.
Cara Dune is the most popular Star Wars character right now besides Grogu. That's why.
Oh,
and Ahsoka's next in line.
Ahsoka is Filoni's baby, basically, because
and that too.
He brought her up with the Clone Wars, and if her show gets cancelled, that's a big tell. There's a whole Star Wars fandom that supports Clone Wars and Rebels, and if Ahsoka's show gets cancelled because of her massive reveal in The Mandalorian, there's going to be uproar because her show is basically leading to a Rebels season 5 with the Grand Admiral Thrawn reveal.
Well, I'd imagine they'll probably do a live action Thrawn.
That's more, that's more to do with Filoni's side because that's Filoni's baby, Ahsoka. So you're just going to cause even more divide in the fan base.
But there is a divide in terms of how sort of ideologically based some of the Star Wars shows or movies are versus how some of them are not, and then also. How the new initiative, the High Republic, is again very much it's very clear as day. Like there's partisan, there's sort of partisanship within Star Wars. You can see it. You can see the sort of two sides, quite clear as day in terms of how they go around creating narratives for their shows. Anyway,
yeah, and when you got a division in the House itself, then the fandom's going to be even more divided.
Yeah.
Look at the DC situation right now.
Yeah, well, yeah, true. Marcos A for $4.99. Thank you so much. Says, Mr. H, hail the round table. And your guest, Ellie and Tom. Always a pleasure to hear your insight. Well, thank you so much, dude. This was kind of cobbled together a bit late. I never asked Tom to drop it. I literally just sent you the link. I was like, I hope you turn up.
People send me links and I click on them. It just happens.
Well, don't click on it whilst you're in this, all right, please? Thanks very much.
Well, that, of course.
Well, I don't know about that, maybe.
I don't even classify these people as fans because their only sole objective is just to attack their people based on what they sort of
right, Ellie. Yeah, I agree with you. And that's the thing. And not only that, we learned from Jeannie's interview, at least it sounded to me like she was implying that a lot of this stuff was coming from internally anyway. And then they set these stands off. And that's what I think this article is doing, is basically telling the stands where to go next.
Well, again, it's so the whole point of this, again, like as someone wrongly said, this is fake news, because it is wrong, because this is old news. It's almost as if the sort of more ideological sort of partisan, digital media is going, right, well, what can we go to next? You know, what next big thing can we go to? You know, Gina Carano caused lots of clicks. Right. Well, there was all of this backlash a few months back, a year ago, trying to cancel them for a year. Let's just go for that then. Why not? There you go. Have at it. Plebs on the internet.
And it plays right into Kathy's hand. And again, to be clear, there's times where I'm not even so sure if she has so much to do with these things that it is just her faction. Because that's the thing, is her faction is full of these ideologues, and that's what it is all about. Is you have, like you said, two different, factions in there. One side who wants to tell stories that are all revolved around people's identities and their sex and their race and all this crap, even though they're in space and they're aliens. And then you have the other side who just want to tell fun Star Wars stories.
Yeah.
They don't want to cram a bunch of, agendas into The Mandalorian. And Favreau has never been one to cram a bunch of messages into a movie. He just usually wants to, for better or for worse, he just wants to make a movie to entertain you. Now, I'm not saying everything he's made has been good, but he's also somebody who pays attention to the fans, and he's a fan himself. And if you watch that AFI video he did recently, he doesn't mention Kathy at all, but he sure does talk a lot about George Lucas.
Yeah. Real quick, we got Comrade Commissar Yuri chimes in here and says, because she's extremely vindictive. Obviously,
that's what we've heard.
Kathleen Kennedy. Yeah, I know. That seems to be, fairly apparent, I guess, to some degree. Master Rebel. Funny how the top people in Lucasfilm are all women, yet they cannot seem to be able to get along with other strong, independent women. That's
exactly it.
Yeah, there's some reports about there's somewhere in Europe, I think, or some country that's run by 3 women because they all got voted in. Basically, it was they had to. I can't remember the term for it, but they all got voted in, so they have to coalition government, and it's all fine at the start, but then it all kind of fell apart. I think, if I remember rightly, which is funny to a certain degree. There's some sort of comedy in there about women getting along with other women, I'm sure. Otaku Sage, check out JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's great. I will check that out. Actually, I have seen bits of it, so yeah, and I will check that out. So yeah, I mean, moving down through this again, because this is the new thing, and then I want to backtrack. I want to tell the whole story. So this is the new call to arms, and it is a call to arms from everyone. Make no mistake, it really is. Stan accounts are recognizable by their handles. Yeah, probably pronouns in them more often than not. And there's nothing wrong with pronouns in your bios and things like that. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. Like I have, I've got transgender people that follow me and happily send me emails and things like that. Lovely people, absolutely got no issue with it at all. But there is definitely a certain subsection of that community or people that, I guess would claim to represent that community who are absolute scumbags, like these individuals. Now, like any fandom they call it, you can find them in the replies of tweets with fan cams, fan-made montages of celebrities or characters set to pop songs. I fucking hate that. Like, I don't know whether it's like a generational thing, but when I see that shit on, I hate Twitter anyway, but when I see that shit on Twitter, it makes me want to vomit. Seriously, I
always see those BTS videos of people just you'll see a comment section flooded with them. I'm just get out of here. It's not even the subject topic at hand, and they just put a K-pop video. It's just what the heck?
It's so obnoxious. Gino X 1987 says Kathleen secretly wants a Ghostbusters 2016 with lightsabers. Pretty much. We've got nearly 700 people here. Smash that like button, guys. Please do smash that like button. We've got lots of regulars as well. Just taking a quick time just to give some appreciation to people I see in the chat. We've got Vasi. This is their first ever member of the channel. Vasi. I remember these things, you see. We've got all things Ada, valued member of the channel. Thank you so much. Hope your new puppy is doing all right. See, I remember this shit. I remember it. Anyway, and obviously Inverse loves it. This is adorable, they say, when it comes to members of BTS or Jughead from Riverdale.
There we go.
I'm a little less cute when focused on lesser-known aliens like Kit Fisto or Yaddle. What's wrong with Kit Fisto or Yaddle? Huh? Why are you doing them dirty? Huh?
Yeah, Yaddle might be Grogu's mom. We don't know.
Oh, yeah, true. She got it. She got yiddled in a yaddle.
Maybe Yoda.
Still,
Had it going on, she did.
So still, Star Wars Stan Twitter thrives from teaching Pedro Pascal how to properly use the skull emoji to express laughter to live tweeting Mandalorian episodes in the early hours of the morning. Well, and also being arseholes and revealing spoilers to everyone.
Yeah.
These are not nice people. They're dickheads.
Yeah, she's trying to spin them as nice people, like you said.
Yeah.
Is it a she that wrote this? I can't remember. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I keep saying she, so.
Dace Johnston.
Days
Johnston.
That doesn't help.
I have no idea. I have no idea. Where is Jasper? My Titan 101 says Jasper is upstairs asleep, actually. He is chilling out. He's been a good little lad sleeping upstairs at the moment. And I do want to just take this moment, ladies and gents, to let you all know that I've got brand new Jasper merch. You know, I've been saying how much we live in a clown world. Well, ladies and gents, we got this on a t-shirt and a mug. Jasper, flying away, taking solace in outer space from this clown world. You can grab it on my Teespring store, linked in the description box. Help support the channel and also rock some awesome merch. I love that. I bought myself a hoodie and a mug. I love that picture so much. People are like, it looks like Futurama. I'm like, no, that's literally what my dog looks like.
I think it's a she.
Oh, have you been googling who the person is? Real quick though, once you decipher the gender of this individual,
I don't know. I'm gonna just call them by them.
Marshmallow. For £25, thank you so much. Christ. I think it's clear that we aren't capable of distinguishing between actual reality and perceived or digital reality as we live in the internet. We fail to recognize that outside of our perceptions, those problems do not exist. No. So I partially agree. I think it's a certain subsection of the populace that can't distinguish. You know, when I log off the internet, I don't give a flying fuck about what happens here. I do not care. Not one iota. I go and walk my dog or I drive my car. Couldn't give a flying fuck. Don't care. And I think that's what the problem is that people stay too connected and they don't distinguish. They don't realize that you can just go, oh, it actually doesn't exist when I switch it off. Like, because that's what you can do. You just switch it off and just, you know, piss off for a whole day. Any other input on that, guys? What do you guys think?
I think if we all switch off Twitter or Instagram for a week, I reckon you'd see like such a difference, because the world on Twitter is completely different to the world you live in real life. Like in real life, I can go out with a sort of friend that's bisexual or anything and have a drink with them or have a laugh with them. I used to work with them, for instance. But when it gets taken to Twitter, it seems like there's a mob mentality attacking everyone no matter what. And you can't have a civilized conversation because they come in droves at you, or then the other side will come in droves. It's just all a toxic thing. And the only reason we do stay on Twitter is to stay connected, for instance, with film news or to interact with others or to send links, for instance.
Well, I feel it's important to stay on Twitter mainly just because otherwise then you're allowing it to be given over to the betting mob, you know? You know, you can have your own corner of the, you know, of Twitter that doesn't, you know, resonate with these kind of idiots, which, side note, ladies and gents, follow me over on Twitter at Mr. H Reviews and also on Instagram at Mr. H Reviews. Thanks so much.
Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but if we didn't have like sort of our side to the Gina Carano situation, for instance, like for instance, Tom knows this as well, when everyone was rallying, all the other YouTubers were rallying to help her and her support, and then the cancel Disney Plus was trending #1 instead of fire Gina Carano, and then I Stand with Gina Carano started. So we need that two sides to it, which is absolutely fantastic, because if we let one mob overrun Twitter, then it's all going to get out of control, because then no one else will have a say. There will be no opinions.
Yeah, exactly. The loudest voice is not always the, you know, it's not always the majority. The majority tends to be silent these days.
Exactly.
So Finbar White for £5 drops on. Thank you so much. And says, "Evening, everyone. Could you imagine if Kennedy got moved to Disney's Marvel division? Deadpool would be recast as Rey."
Feige would never let that happen.
I know, but what a funny scenario. Tom, are you all right? Have you disappeared?
No, I'm here.
Oh, all right then. There we go. You're back. Good. I saw you. You've deciphered that you don't quite know who the individual is. Days. You're unsure.
Yeah, and I don't want to mispronounce.
No, I get that. You don't want to be cancelled by people from misgendering.
So we'll just call them Days or they. But yeah, no, I think you're right. Clearly, Mr. H, they are trying to call out these stands to do this dirty work.
Yeah, it's summoning, isn't it? It's just trying to get people, riled up again. So Eric C, imagine being so woke that you cancel a lady for her harmless tweets, but ignore her employer who films in areas where genocide is happening. Yeah, this is quite literally what I have been saying time and time again, because people jump on. It's funny. Now, you can find out what the most search terms are for people and things like that. And I think people definitely have the wrong interpretation of me from like a wider majority. A lot of people think I'm like right-leaning or alt-right. Alt-right is just this shitty buzzword these days anyway. And these people jump onto some of the videos where I have, defending Gina Carano, or at least clarifying what she said, because there's so much disinformation around what she's actually said, even though it's clear as day what she has said. And always their go-to buzzwords is, "Oh, you're alt-right, blah, 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 blah." And it's like, okay, well, let's just assume it's not right, but let's just assume that is correct. But you're fine and you're defending Disney for filming next to an internment camp for Uyghur Muslims. Really? That's the hill you want to die on, motherfucker? That's your moral compass. That's bad. It says more about you than it does me, and I'm the one that's supposedly alt-right. That's just laughable. It's absolutely laughable. By the way, not right-leaning, centrist, very firmly centrist. But yeah, imagine being so woke that you cancel a lady for just tweets, and defend, because remember, they actively defend Disney's choice on this, and yet they film next to and thank them, and they thank them. They thank the Chinese Communist Party for filming in those locations next to Uyghur Muslim internment camps. Insanity.
It's all about business.
It's just insane. Tom, anything to add?
No, not really. You guys have covered it pretty well on that one. I mean,
I do appreciate it.
As far as the woke cancel culture, we've kind of covered, pretty much everything we can about it.
Tales from Junkyard, here's one for Twitter. Hail the table. Thank you. We should get that, actually. Hail the table. I don't know if that's get that as a hashtag, guys. Follow me over on Twitter and send me that hashtag.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The Rosario Dawson backlash stopped just as she was casted as well.
It heated up because that's
heated up when she was. It wasn't even like when she was portrayed on screen. It started as soon as she was hired as Ahsoka and people found out. They sort of dug up the transphobic thing straight away. You're hiring Disney hiring this. I don't know if I'm wrong there, but
no, I think you're right. You're right. It did. Yeah. It did. And it's the same thing with Gina. I don't feel like anybody would have really paid much attention to what she was saying too if she wasn't part of Star Wars. Let's be real. Once you get on that level, that plateau, it puts you in front of a lot of people. And Rosario, fortunate enough for her, she's in the right bubble for them, and she's in the right think for them, but they're hanging on to this. And as we pointed out, that stuff generally doesn't matter. Even though the case was thrown out, it still doesn't matter. They're still going to try and pin it because, again, and a big part of it is because if they actually admit anything, then that means they're wrong, and they will never admit they're wrong.
Yeah. Laura 44, thank you so much for becoming a member. Really appreciate that. Just scrolling down here. Sorry, guys. Sometimes it moves a bit quick and I get stuck behind a little bit. J. Brandon Hopkins, $4.99, but no actual message. So I'm guessing you're probably going to leave a message. So I will try and stay around. I'll try and look out for that.
Probably got deleted.
Do they delete them?
Google likes to do that sometimes, which is funky.
Oh,
Yes.
That's out of order. If someone's paying, you fucking delete it.
No, they do.
But they take a percentage of this shit.
They don't care.
His comments there, H.
Here we go. Yeah. I'm considered an American conservative, but back when I was a kid, I would have been seen as extreme liberal.
I can see why it didn't let it go through. You have like 4 words there that it wouldn't let go through.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. Very, very true. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people now. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being right-leaning. By the way, it's more. I'm just trying to ask.
Well, that's part of the problem. Is the media is trying to portray anybody who's right-leaning at all as a racist istophobe.
Well, the buzzword is alt-right now. You're alt-right
exactly.
If you're conservative. You're an alt-right this. You're an alt-right that. It's like, that doesn't have any fucking meaning now. Like it's just a joke.
No, and they like to change definitions so then they can pin words on you and that's why they get away with like.
It's funny they love definitions, but they don't stand by them. They love their definitions, but they don't ever actually stand by them because you go, all right, well, technically you're a racist. Then they go, no, that's not why it works. That's not my truth. Like what? But you like your definitions, mate.
The other one I love is I can't be racist because I'm black.
I do hate them.
That's my favorite.
Yeah. Comrade Commissar Yuri for $4.99 says, with Disney tracking everything, hopefully are keeping track of just how many people are angry at them compared to the stands that like them. Well, Tom, you have some insight into this. I'm aware over at Midnight Sage. I mean, I'm aware of thousands of people getting rid of their Disney Plus, but what's your knowledge of that?
Well, again, it all comes down to protecting certain people, and they will push. And what we've seen with Gina and her, basically in her interview, she was saying, they were going to force me to do this and that and the other. And I do believe they probably did force Rosario to go through that crap. And she actually did go through it.
Well, we'll get to that. I've got an article.
Right.
Now, Gina Carano revealed that Disney and her publicists tried to make her speak to a bunch of people about stuff and basically just be told that she's bad. But there's an article where Rosario was interviewed by the Gay Times, and I think in retrospect, that's what happened. I think she was forced to do it.
Yeah, if it's timed well enough with her being cast in the show, I wouldn't doubt it. And Disney,
really
and the thing is, and this goes with that one quote that I shared earlier on the other show, if you want me to share it here real quick or not, I don't know, Mr. H, from that one PR agent from the THR article, but he basically flat out says, paraphrasing that these companies are
trying to cater to the left.
Yeah, they're scared to death of the left.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. But at the same time, I feel like Disney is feeding into this shit. They have to be, because a lot of their people are on the inside. And we also hear things from the other side, though, too. Like, and Gina even said it in her interview, and this is things we've been saying for a while. There are people who don't agree with that shit, and they just want to, get out of it, but they can't. And they're afraid to say anything because they know what'll happen to them is what happened to Gina. And sure, a lot of these people have, like even Favreau and a lot of these guys, even Carl Weathers and stuff, they get canceled. That doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be okay. I mean, Favreau's got some money, but Carl Weathers, this is the biggest thing he's done in like 20 years. Yeah,
he's not done much for a long time, has he really?
No, that's what I'm saying. So like if he gets canceled right now, at his age, that would destroy him.
Yeah.
Gina just did this because she could, and she knew that it didn't matter. She knew that she could get through it and weather the storm. Anybody else, though, I don't know if they could. And Rosario's stuck in this fucking position where she's one of them, so she's just going to feel like she's getting eaten alive, know? And it's, at least with Gina, she's like, I'm just going to stand up. Rosario, she's just going to keep saying, I'm sorry.
It won't get anywhere either.
No, it won't. And that's where Gina was right about that. She's seen it in action. You say you're sorry, and it don't matter. They just come after you even more because they smell blood in the water.
Well, they don't want apology. They will never accept apologies. There's no point. Marshmallow for £2. Is that a nod to my email earlier on? Side note, people can email me, missagereviews@gmail.com. No, not really. Just in general, quite frankly. And we've got another quick super chat before we move on as well. I think. Do we not have another super chat? Thought we did. No. Okay, no.
That was your last one, unless you missed one.
Yeah, no. I something came up at the top there, but it's not. Sorry, that's my.
No,
my
I don't
bad.
think you missed any. Nope.
So let's see exactly how far they twist these things, because they absolutely do, right? So the demographic of Star Wars Stan Twitter is mainly teenagers raised with social media. They know its power and they know how to use it. I mean, that's not sinister at all, is it, ladies and gents? They know the power of, mob mentality on social media, and they will use it. I mean, that's fucking terrible. Like, why are you promoting this?
Who writes these?
Well, Days Johnston did. I mean, that is genuinely terrifying. That is sinister as hell. They know its power and they know how to use it. Like, fuck me.
It's scary because people will rally behind these articles as well and believe anything they see online.
But this is a rallying cry. This is his next target. These kind of words here. It's, hey teens, you watching this? Go. Sick them.
It's actually very scary.
Yeah. So here we go. Here's a stan, ladies and gents. Here's a stan. Reggie, a stan. I have been myself overwhelmed multiple times by Stan Twitter, so it's hard to think about how overwhelming it can be for actors, says Reggie, a stan who posts under the handle something and asks to remain anonymous, even though the fucking handle's there and their name. Am I losing what? Am I missing something here? That's not anonymous, is it? Anyway, however, there's a difference between getting without reason hate and being called out for wrong actions. Right? Okay, let's see the mental gymnastics someone has to do. Other stans also objected to claims Carano had been subject to bullying. I only ever saw people trying to educate her. And of course, some people were angry. But overall, it was people just trying to teach her to do the right thing, and she outright refused. Do the right thing of putting pronouns in your fucking bio. That's not the right thing. You don't have to if you don't want to. It's fine. Boo-hoo. Cry me a fucking river. Like, what's the big deal? Seriously? That's ridiculous, isn't it?
Let's see. Dumb transphobic bitch. I hope you lose your job. Your company is LGBTQ friendly. Yeah, Gina Carano has no place in The Mandalorian. You're a transphobic piece of shit. You're not the victim here, you transphobic hag. Nah, you're just transphobic. Yeah, I could keep going. You know what I'm reading, right?
There was loads of bullying. Absolutely.
And this is just, fuck you, you transphobic piece of shit. There's ones that call her a dumb bitch, a dumb cunt, all those things.
Unreal. Got a brand new member, the Emperor of Mankind. I am not worthy. Thank you so much.
I've got 2 pages of these, and they keep going. Just ask Data Racer and those guys. They keep track of this shit.
Data Racer is very good, actually. It's just disgusting. Comrade Commissar Yuri just pointing out the 40 trans people were Disney approved, couldn't have any diverging thought. Yeah. I mean, they're not going to be people that go, oh, yeah, you've got a good point.
What's the criteria for this, and how do they prove it? That's the other.
It's just ridiculous, isn't it? So anyway, we go further, right? It says there are plenty of conservative celebrities. There are plenty of celebrities who don't include pronouns on the social media. The difference between those people and Carano is that Carano fought back. If you're a celebrity, you're in power. Nobody can force you to do anything. All you have to do is ignore those requests. That's what she did do. And she was cancelled for it, really. Like,
pretty much. I mean, when she ignored it, they kept coming. And then they got Pedro involved.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Asking stans whether someone should be fired for being conservative yields some surprising answers. One person I asked took 10 minutes to answer because she sincerely couldn't comprehend how I defined the term. Because these stans are typically so young, ranging from 15 to 17 years old, they don't see conservative as a signifier of wanting lower taxes, smaller government, and deregulation. Conservative to them is increasingly becoming conflated with bigot.
Exactly.
Why the fuck are you promoting these idiots then in verse? Why have you got paragraphs here defending them? When you're literally saying they're so young and dumb, they have no comprehension of the word conservative. They just think you're a bigot.
This is exactly what I was saying before, and this is how they've changed terms and all that shit. Yeah.
I mean, that's just retarded.
And that's the thing, is you first of all, you say this thing is bad. Well, these people like this thing, so they are bad. That's what you do. That's how they're doing this. That's exactly what it is.
Just insane. So no, remember, this is all backstory. We're going to get to the point here, right? Because this is them rallying people. And so we get here. So perspective is key here. Lucasfilm wants to make Star Wars marketable to as many people as possible. Hate speech directed at a specific group, in this case, both the Jewish and transgender population, is a liability to that mission. So the company will take action. Hate speech means you can lose your job. It's as simple as that. But that entire paragraph there is predicated on the fact that Gina Carano did that, and she didn't.
It wasn't.
She didn't do hate speech, did she?
People saw Holocaust and immediately determined that they thought it was hate speech. They didn't understand the context. Yeah, it wasn't.
It wasn't even the Holocaust. There's not even any point in saying it because it wasn't even the Holocaust in there. It's just, again, nonsense.
But a lot of people mentioned that, and that's all they thought it was.
Yeah, because they're idiots.
Yeah,
again, exactly. Remember, they have literally outlined that these people are fucking morons by saying these people don't understand conservative. They just think they're a bigot. So why? Do you see what I mean? This article even outlines that these people are the lowest of the low fucking imbeciles. And they go, well, yeah, look, there's hate speech. People have found out hate speech. Like,
well, and I think this is the biggest point of contention right here. It'd be one thing if Gina was fired along with Pedro, Christina Ariel, Justina, what's her name? All these other people who have just as bad or worse,
what about
tweets out there in comparisons. Yeah. And then you have let's not even get into like all the politicians and everything who call out, this event and compare it to whatever it is they want to, and they can do it constantly. And I'm not trying to play whataboutism here, but I think that's the problem most people have a problem with. Is like I don't think anybody would be saying shit about Gina being fired if it was the same across the board. If
the precedent had been set, you can't argue with it, look, because
exactly
the ban hammer is across the board, right? Like that's it. It's there for everyone. So
but it's not in this case. Unfortunately, you have a situation where we've seen a lot of double standards, and it's extremely leaning towards one way, and that's where it goes back to that one quote. Yeah,
partisan behavior, isn't it? So it goes further, right? So this doesn't mean Lucasfilm doesn't care about its fans. By its very nature, Lucasfilm is nothing without the fans. Well, they sure do fucking try and disenfranchise them, don't they? But the fans are not a monolith. Not all of them have strong opinions about McClunky Gate. And not all of them tweet montages of Ahsoka Tano. Some of them are 8-year-olds who are Darth Vader birthday parties. And some are housewives who run Instagram accounts for their Grogu plushies. Right? There's no definition of a Star Wars fan. And because of that, there's no room for hate. But by that very logic, what? If there's no definition of a Star Wars fan, there's no room for hate. Why are you being so exclusionary?
Because they don't have room for fans like that.
Well, exactly.
And it doesn't matter if you really are a fan like that, as long as they can paint you as a fan like that. That's all that matters, and that's what this is all really about. And it goes right back to Gina and Rosario here.
It's funny how it talks about Lucasfilm caring about their fans, and then you have their employees, such as Pablo Hidalgo, attacking fans on Twitter. And
exactly.
To my knowledge, is he still employed, Tom? I think he hasn't.
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah.
Like I said, if we were in a situation where Pedro had been let go because of his tweets, and like I said, Christina Ariel and stuff like that, then it'd be a different situation. And this precedent goes way back to the whole Roseanne James Gunn thing. And I know they're two different animals, but at the same time, they're not. It's a clear definition of where one is okay and the other is not.
Yes.
Now, and I'm not condoning or whatever on either side, whether they were both basically bad, out of taste jokes. And I don't think either should have been fired for them. But it has to be mentioned that, most people, if they say or do stupid shit like that online, they don't get a second chance like most actors and sports people and all that kind of stuff do. Like I know so many people who are teachers, cops, you name it, who have lost their jobs over some stupid shit online, and whether it was, justified or not. Yeah. So like this whole thing is a problem to begin with, and they're just using it as a weapon now. And that's what this article is. It's like you said, it's rallying the troops. It's basically giving these stands directions on how to cancel this person now.
Yeah. Owen Hart's Zipline Adventure. Epic name. How did you come up with that? Disney has zero problems with internment camps. And that is not over embellishing. They genuinely don't. They thanked the Chinese Communist Party for allowing them to film near internment camps. It's no surprise they become one themselves. Mauschwitz. Funny.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse. And then we get to the linchpin of this entire article, right?
Yeah.
What's next? The same week, fan culture was dealing with the fallout from Carano's firing. Joss Whedon was the subject of chilling allegations by Charisma Carpenter and other members of the Buffy the Vampire Slayer cast. Gross misuses of power like this are often cast aside and still not totally seen as valid because it was another time. Carpenter herself even said she held her tongue and even excused herself until the Time's Up movement opened her eyes. Many of the people behind Fire Gina Carano can't remember this other time. They're going to make sure hate speech isn't cast aside as the product of outdated views. It had to happen now.
That's going under the assumption that she was doing that, though. And again,
the whole thing is just predicated on that when it's complete nonsense. But they keep affirming it as if it's true. They lie so much that they actually believe their own.
It'd be like saying, well, if they killed this person, it's like, but they didn't. That's the thing.
No, I know. It's painful. It really is. So what does Stan Twitter think should happen with Cara Dune on the show? The answer is complicated. I think The Mandalorian should do the classic, they left on a journey, won't be back for a while type thing, because it would be the most believable, said Reggie. Thinks the key is replacing her with another season 1 character, Omira. Alternatively, they suggest a new character played by a BIPOC actor, of course, in order to improve diversity. Of course. Kennedy believes there are only 2 valid options, recast Cara Dune or completely kill her off. Here we go. The Ahsoka problem.
And to be clear, the Kennedy they keep mentioning here is not Kathleen Kennedy.
So it's not. But they're doing it for SEO. They know what they're doing. They're leaving it there because they're trying to get SEO. They're trying to make people believe that it is actually Kathleen Kennedy that's saying it. Tales from Junkyard. Hey guys, more than 730 people in the chat and less than 250 likes. Smash that like button. Please do, guys. Give the video a big thumbs up. You're here. You haven't clicked off, so you're clearly enjoying it. So please do hit that thumbs up button.
Yeah, don't judge the stream because I'm here.
But anyway, the Ahsoka problem. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at what the Ahsoka problem is. Though not currently a part of the Mandalorian recurring cast, but that just because she's still a target, guys. Don't worry about it.
She's even more of a target now. Why? Because she's getting her own show.
Exactly. It's on another level now. They just want to go.
When did they really ramp up with Gina? When they thought she was, because nobody even really knew for sure if the Rangers was her show.
Yeah, no one knew at all. No one knew at all, did they?
But they just assumed it, so they went after her even more.
Yep. So Rosario Dawson is poised to star in her own Mandalorian spin-off series, simply entitled Ahsoka. However, Dawson and her family were recently sued by a trans man who claimed they purposely misgendered him and even assaulted him. Surely they should lead. Surely they should lead with the assaulting part. The misgendering part, sorry, get over it. It's probably annoying and probably sad sometimes, I'm sure, but you can get over that. In the grand scheme of things, being assaulted is worse than being misgendered, is it not?
Not in their eyes.
But it physically is.
No, because they would love to. They think it's okay to punch Nazis, which I'm not saying it isn't, but I'm just saying, that to them we're Nazis. That's my point I was getting at. That's how they justify this shit.
So anyway, so she was sued, right? They were sued. Though all charges against Dawson herself were later dropped. The fandom is very wary, or is wary. Another Carano-like situation is lurking. No, they're not. They're not wary, though, are they?
Not really. Actually.
You're literally trying to brew it up right here. Unreal. It bugs me and several other people, and I think that it would be good if they at least recast the actress because she already makes so many people uncomfortable, says V. This rando Kennedy agrees. I think that the majority of Stan Twitter, myself included, are skeptical of her because we don't know if the charges on her are true or not. Well, if they were dropped, mate, you kind of have to, just, deal with it. That's, innocent till proven guilty. Isn't that what we live by?
Well, as you pointed out, the individual themselves dropped the charges, right, Mr. H?
Yeah. The individual dismissed him, and then Rosario came out in support of him, saying she's known him since a teenager and saying she has a lot of empathy for him because their families have helped out each other. And the misgendering thing was only because he came out, or he or she came out as transgender, and asked them to call them that when he or she was working on their house. And it was an honest mistake getting it wrong here and there because obviously they would have been new to it.
Happen, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have been new to it.
So no, but let's be real. All this was to distract from the fact that the motherfucker was stealing from them.
Yeah.
They don't mention that, but Tom, they want you to see this only side of the story.
And got into a physical altercation with probably an elderly woman. I'm assuming Rosario Dawson's mother.
Yeah, it would be.
Yes,
she's not a young woman.
No, well, obviously not. Obviously not. Paddy's Pub. Elon has got to step it up. I've got to get off this planet. Yeah. Great comment, dude. Great comment.
Watch The Expanse.
Yeah, watch The Expanse. I need to finish my live streams about that, to be honest.
I loved it.
Because there's no extensive evidence like there was on Carano's Twitter account, opinions are still mixed on Dawson. Stan Twitter tried to get Fire Rosario Dawson trending, but a lot less people were on board.
Yeah, how did that go?
Fuck me. Why are you trying? Why are you trying? You sad, sad little cretin. Again, they've literally said these people are children that don't understand what a conservative actually is. They think that they're just a bigot and they're giving them airtime. Why?
Well, and one thing about this whole cancel culture thing is this is one thing that even certain left-leaning people or people who are strongly on the left can agree with is bad. I mean, you even have people like Bill Maher out there going, this is bullshit. Because of course he was canceled at one time.
Yeah.
And then there's a few other people who are finally coming out and realizing that. And that was one thing I think that Robert Meyer Burnett realized quite a bit when he went through his whole ordeal was like, I'm on this side. Why are they coming after me? And it's like, yeah, that's what
they're right,
man. It's like they don't give a shit. They don't give a shit.
No.
They're just picking their targets, Tom.
Yeah. Ip Kiss. When did the old saying "sticks and stones may break my bones" stop being a thing? Yeah. Well, it stopped being a thing when PAGs happened. And this is something which I coined on my channel. PAG is the Participation Award Generation. It perfectly exemplifies the problem we're dealing with. All these fucking plebs and the idiots that are older than them, the sort of, I guess, what are they, like mid-20s now, is when they started to get the awards just for turning up. Participation awards. And it's this sense of entitlement, the world owes me something. That's what happens, and the sticks and stones thing happened along with it as well.
A great example would be like right now, I would be allowed to cry victim and say that it's not fair that Mr. H is such a good-looking guy and I'm not, and he shouldn't be allowed to be on camera because he's making me feel bad. As ridiculous as that sounds, this is exactly what they're fucking doing.
Yeah, I mean, Tom, I'm sure you're a very handsome chap. And
no, I'm not, and I'm not gonna fucking lie about it either. You are clearly the alpha male here. You would whoop my ass. I am not gonna pretend this shit. That's the problem. That's what these pegs have a problem with. Is you just coined them or have coined them for a while. Yeah. Is that's the main problem? Is what I just said is how they react to things instead of fucking up and going, look, clearly Mr. H could kick my ass. If it came between women and choosing me and him, I'm not gonna get upset because I know they're gonna choose him. I'm realistic. That's what I am. And I'm not going to let it bother me because guess what? That's life. Nature chose its course. I chose to eat too much fast food. Mr. H did not. Why is that his fault? It's not.
I chose to build my gym bench today.
Exactly. I take responsibility for my downfalls. Yeah, sure. There's a few things genetically I can't do anything about. I'm bald. I'm Irish. What the fuck can I say? You know what? But that doesn't mean shit. I didn't have to eat too much. I could have exercised more. That's my fucking fault. But no, exactly the sentiment I'm saying here earlier is exactly the way these women feel when it comes to seeing women like Gina Carano, Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, you're right.
Like that on screen. And they make these fucking points, and we're supposed to just bow down to this. And, continuing on with what you're saying here, I love how they're trying to paint this as all being stands, but the tweet right here don't look like a stand to me.
No, we'll get to that in a second. You're completely right. Bird Boy says, "Hi H, hi chat. At this point, I'd rather see Mandalorian to be cancelled with Luke's ending, then KK turning it into cancel culture, gender clown house. Cheers. Yeah, I would agree with that sentiment. I'm sure there'll be lots of people that would agree with it. If you knew that it was either cancel it or it descend into crap, people would probably just want it to be cancelled. We've got a brand new member of the channel, Josh Goldberg. Thank you so much, man. Again, thank you so much. Thank you to any member that has become a member. You do get some benefits, so thank you so much. Do appreciate it. It
does mean a lot to the channels, guys.
Well. Yeah, it really genuinely does. Actually, YouTube is not good at the moment. So yeah, and also just cruising down here. We've got one more. T-Man 70. I was hoping they'd cancel a man next. Gina needs a male co-star for a movie. Star-Lord maybe. Yeah, I did actually think.
Chris is on the list.
Yeah, I mean, he absolutely is, isn't he? He has to be on the list because they've tried to cancel him numerous times. Yes. So yeah, I am surprised that it went straight to Ahsoka, but yeah, he is on the list. They have tried consistently, and they do it all the time. Like they do it all the time. And I just don't get it.
Remember they tried to cancel Kevin Hart because of the Oscars as well with his old tweets.
Yeah, but he apologized.
Yeah.
He apologized, but he said he wasn't going to host them.
And the only reason he's probably not getting bombarded, and let's be real, I hate to say this, is because he's black.
True.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, to a certain degree.
Because if he was a white comedian, and even if he apologized, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah,
they made Eddie Murphy fucking apologize for shit. And come on, when he made a lot of those jokes, we didn't even know shit about AIDS yet.
Yeah.
Oh, 100. Yeah,
true. We've got another brand new member of the channel, Chad Balvins. I think that's how I say your name. If it's not, sorry. But I appreciate it. We've got Justice for Tom trending in the chat.
The dad bod is in.
There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, can we get a Justice for Tom, please? Let's go. Justice for Tom. I want to see the entire chat.
I appreciate that.
Literally the entire chat. Justice for Tom. Let's go.
But I shouldn't be praised for not taking care of myself. So.
No, you're right. You shouldn't be. In fairness, you got one body. You need to look after it. So.
No, I'm a realist. Unlike most of these people online who live in this peg generation, as you put it, sooner or later you just got to face the facts, man. I know I got a fucking face for radio, you know. But I work with what I got. I got a voice of gold, and I do what I do, So whatever.
Hey, well done, chat. We've got loads of Justice for Toms coming. Honestly,
I appreciate the love.
Just as a quick aside, love the community we have here on these streams. You guys are absolutely legendary. Thank you so much.
Just ask for Tom. I'll go for that. That's Project Cobra.
Brilliant. And so getting back to this part, as you were saying, right? I mean, how is this? How does this look like a stand? Lady Willow Grey. How is this? Ahsoka Tano doesn't deserve to be played by a transphobic. She deserves better. Fire Rosario Dawson like did Gina Carano. And this is supposedly a stan on Twitter, right? This is a stan. Can we have a look? Can we see?
I looked at her profile, yeah.
I mean, look, it's literally what you expect, guys. It's what you expect. 30. She has what way she swings, so she's bisexual. She, her. Apparently she's a Capricorn and Cancer. What? BLM and LGBT rights. I mean, where's the Q, mate? Where's the LGBTQ? You got something against the Qs? Cancel 30 and flirty at Lady Willow Grey. She's against the Qs. Unreal. But it's literally what you expect from these kind of idiots. It really is. And look, how is this a stan? It's literally just some pleb that jumps on any bandwagon, isn't it? Look at it. How's this a Star Wars stan? How is it?
That's what I'm saying. They're creating this nonsense bullshit that doesn't exist.
Yeah, they are literally trying to incite people to cancel Rosario.
Gina told us what these accounts were, and we've seen it in the Star Trek universe and other places. They're accounts that are from inside. They're people that work for the company or PR groups.
Yeah.
And Mecha Random actually traced back the Rose Tico business to a PR tweet.
Oh, that's not good. That's bad, isn't it? We've got a brand new channel member, Royston Parker. Thank you. And Ip Kiss, Justice for Tom, again, for $4.99 this time. Mate, there's loads of Justice for Toms coming.
Is that like Stanley Ip Kiss?
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Yeah. I'd imagine that's what it is, but
I would hope so.
Hopefully. Stans do be cringe. They do. They do. And then this article closes out with, unlike Carano, Dawson has expressed horror at the claims against her and reiterated her support of trans voices. Drawing the line in these matters is always difficult, but for now, Lucasfilms is somewhere between Carano's actions and Dawson's. For the most part, the community seems to be basking in the prospect of supporting The Mandalorian without the mental gymnastics required to justify its casting.
Okay. Can I mention something here? Unlike Carano, didn't they watch the interview where she said she would willingly take him out to dinner and speak to them face to face at face value? Like the thing that hurt me a lot with the interview, and I really felt sorry for Gina, is you can tell in the tone of her voice that she's been completely overwhelmed by the situation, and it has taken a toll on her. Even to the case study she was saying where she had the publicist saying that you should say this, you should say that, and Lucasfilm wants to have a Zoom with 40 people. Imagine a Zoom with 40 people and one person trying to explain to all these people, and especially on a Zoom call when people can unmute and just start talking anything. And then you can see Gina's true nature when she's like, no, I'm going to take 3 or 4 to you to dinner, and I'm going to speak to you like a person to person. I'm going to understand who you are, where you come from, and talk to you face value as a human. And she said that with the story of her publicist as well, when she told her to take off the glasses. Remember, she said that she's like, she wants to be straight up and honest, and we don't have many people like that, and people are not like that on Twitter, unfortunately. You can see that.
It is correct on all accounts. Nickname for a nickname for Stanley Ipkiss. I've heard a lot of marginalized communities who stopped watching the show because it made them uncomfortable, incapable of separating actress and character, Reggie says. Now that she is gone, people can be free to watch it without feeling absolutely awful about themselves or their identity. Well, look, I'm sorry, mate. Reggie, my bro, I just got a level with you, dude. The fucking world doesn't owe you shit. Sorry.
And where's the proof of this?
Sorry, mate. Doesn't owe you shit. And unfortunately, if it makes people feel uncomfortable, they can just switch off, can't they?
Here's a bit
not everything is for everyone. People seem baffled by this statement. Not everything is for everyone, and that's okay. You don't have to watch. Censor yourself. Don't be a dickhead.
Well, I'd like to know where they actually marginalized any community, considering the second season of The Mandalorian had a bigger audience than the first. And was I not mistaken that didn't Disney report that final episode had a huge audience?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I don't remember the exact numbers, but I mean, that doesn't compute. And that's what I'm saying. There's no, they love to make these claims without backing anything up.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if it was you, Mr. H, or somebody else who compared this whole kind of situation with Ray Fisher and Cryborg.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I thought it was you where, basically, he's making a lot of claims, but he has no receipts. At least with Gina, her claims, it sure sounds like she might have receipts.
But it's public. So her claims of partisan behavior and ban hammers coming down on certain people and not others is there for the world to see.
But what I mean, though, is she also claims, though, that there's emails. She actually points out that there is this email, there is that situation.
She was copied into it by accident.
Exactly, making making claims that she may actually have the evidence, or the evidence is out there. Unlike Ray, who's saying, well, this is the way I felt, and these people say I'm telling the truth, so I'm obviously telling the truth.
But the thing about abuse, ladies and gents, is it's subjective, right? I could sit here, right, and people in the chat could sit here and say that Tom has abused them in this session, or that I have abused them in this live stream session due to some of the words we've used, right? Abuse is massively subjective. And when people claim abuse, it's really important, unless they identify what they're claiming as abuse, not to just take it on face value, because that's dumb, right? I'm sorry, but that is dumb. Because especially when we all know we live in this world now where there's pags aplenty. So why would you just believe someone that goes, oh, I was abused? Okay, I get it. What type of abuse? What actually happened? What was said? Figure it out.
Exactly. Gina gave us examples, is my point.
Yeah. Gina has the receipts, as you're saying, Tom, on the other stream. She's got evidence there, whereas Ray Fisher, he has nothing to back up his claim, yet he still has tons of support on Twitter.
But he hasn't said anything yet. This is I've stopped making videos about him because he just pipes up every now and then and just keeps it's nothing. He literally reveals nothing, and I'm so sick of giving this guy airtime. If he actually revealed something, great. I'll actually fucking do a video on it and go, oh, finally, he's actually said something properly here. But he's never done it. It's so frustrating.
Like John Boyega as well had evidence as well to back up.
Well, again, it was clear to see. They literally removed it from posters. Like, it's pretty obvious.
Exactly.
There was something going on.
He has his evidence there, whereas Ray Fisher's just talking and he pops up here and there, as you were saying. So
yeah.
Well, and that's another thing is. Oh, go ahead. To the super
I
chat.
was just going to say, I've got a super chat here for $5. Long-time fan, looking forward to your new movie too. Thank you so much, guys. It's actually, it's coming around thick and fast. And also, just as a quick side note to everyone that's joined this live stream, because you're all here, and I like to give little snippets to people that actually join into these things. I'm filming a prequel to Black Fields. There you go. So no one will know that because it won't be announced.
Is it called Grey Fields?
No, it's a prequel story based around one of the characters.
No,
so I've got all of the costumes. So I just thought we'll just do a quick prequel story. Why not? Got the time, got the actors, got people that want to do it.
Awesome.
So
congrats.
Yeah, so just a quick little prequel story. Again, you'll only know this if you've tuned in. So thank you for tuning in.
It's going to be the character's name, a Blackfield story.
Yeah, well, it is. Yeah,
Blackfield story.
Anyway, there you go, ladies and gents. There's your little reward for tuning in. These stands are the same people who go 6 and 30 in Call of Duty. I don't know what that is. This is a reference.
Yeah, I understand.
My
KD's way better than that.
Hey, what is this?
It's like your kill death ratio in Call of Duty. So like they go 6 kills for 30 deaths. Yeah, that's a negative KD ratio, and I can say mine's way above that. So I'm good.
Shut the fuck up and let us watch the show. Yep, I agree with that. What were you going to say, Tom? Before I did that, I think.
I don't even remember now.
No worries. No worries.
Must not have been that important, or I'll remember later.
All right. But this all started somewhere, right? Like we're talking about all these things and these interviews that have happened. And I thought we would pull one of them up because, again, fascinating stuff. Here we go. The Gay Times, ladies and gents. Gay Times. Not just Gay Times. The Mandalorian star Rosario Dawson addresses transphobia allegations. Here we go. I think she was forced into this, now that we know. Now, I don't think I could find a date on this, actually, if I remember rightly. No, I couldn't find a date. It's one of those fucking annoying articles that never writes a date on when they actually wrote it. No, I won't be getting membership to the Gay Times. Go away. But anyway,
like Gay Times, huh?
Well, look, if you want Gay Times, that's all up to you, mate.
I said
got no issue with you needing Gay Times, all right?
No date or time on the Gay Times. So.
Oh, right, yes. None of that. But yeah, so here's what happened, really. So Rosario Dawson has addressed the backlash of her casting in the second season of The Mandalorian. The actress who starred blah, 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 not really important, blah, blah, blah. Although fans have championed for Dawson to play the character for years, her inclusion was met with criticism following allegations against her and her family of transphobia and discrimination. In 2019, Dedrick Finley said he was hired by Dawson to move from New York City to LA to renovate her home, where he was offered a place to live rent-free at her mother's former home in North Hollywood. He claimed that the dynamic changed immediately after he came out as a transgender man and was misgendered multiple times a day with deliberate indifference as to the appropriate way to address it. Deliberate indifference.
And who would address a person as he, come here, or she, come here?
Yeah.
I'd like to talk to you.
That's so odd.
We use names. That's why I don't believe in this indifference bullshit. Then that means you were probably listening in on a conversation. And
but also as well, like they even say the dynamic changed immediately after he came out as a transgender man and was misgendered multiple times a day. So very clearly, it's them trying to adjust to the new change. Like, it's pretty clear as they've that's how I would say it is, isn't it?
I mean, these people need to stop and think. Let's say you have a dog for 10 years and you call that dog Fido, and then after 10 years you decide, you know what, I'm going to call this dog Rover. How easy do you think it would be for you and that dog to get used to that change?
It's the same scenario, but it's just because it's involving sort of a controversial topic. That's why it gets in the limelight. unfortunately. So, but like, isn't it an honest mistake a lot of people would make?
Well, it's an honest mistake even when people don't realize it. I mean, back before I got older, I used to sound like, when I was a kid, I had a more feminine style kind of voice, like I would get called she all the time on the phone or, in the drive-thru. Did I fucking freak out about it? No.
No, you just, heard your voice lots. And,
Well, eventually I smoked enough to where I sound like I do. So,
Like, Sage, you made an honest mistake with not recognizing Thomas Connors Jr. on Twitter. I remember you mentioned that.
Yeah, I was like,
exactly.
Thomas Connors Jr.
And he just realized it's Tom.
I was like, oh, right, there we go then. Like
we all make honest mistakes. Like, I get people's names wrong all the time. Like, yeah, it's just that happens. Like,
I called you Eli originally. Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, yes, a lot of people thought I was a girl when I got hired at one place. They're like, "Oh, we'd like to welcome Ellie to the new crew. She's a wonderful person." It was via email, and they never met me before. And I was just like, I took it as a laugh. Like, I don't care. I'm not gonna file.
Be so shocked.
I'm not gonna file a lawsuit because of that. Like, I'm not that.
Man, you should have turned up in a tutu or something. That would be gold.
No, but it's a clear example of.
I thought I just dressed appropriate.
The sad part is, it's a clear example of one. It's like one set of parents who expects an entire town to childproof the entire town for their kid. That's really what it is. Instead of people just realizing that, look, if I'm going to have a name that doesn't match what I look like, chances are people might assume because a name like Ellie is normally a feminine name. And again, it's
a unisex name. Yeah.
It happens. Shit happens. I had a kid.
Exactly.
There was a kid in school whose name's Shannon, and he hated it. Fucking hated it. I understand, like now it's a little bit more common for men to have the name Shannon, but back then, nobody that was a boy had the name. Like, he hated it, so he went by a completely different name then. But no, like, it's just one of those things. Times change. We get it, and people are learning. And as Mr. H has said many times over, and I have said many times over, I have no issues if somebody I'm talking to is like, look, I prefer to be referred to as they, them, or whatever. Like, we have
not an arsehole, but that's fine.
No.
Common respect.
Exactly.
Common respect.
But you shouldn't expect the entire world to childproof the world for one kid. It just doesn't work that way. Sooner or later, you have to take responsibility for yourself, or at least have a sense of humor about certain things.
Yeah.
And eventually people will learn and get over it. That's the way progression works. I mean, I'm not saying that certain things don't need to be called attention to, but again, a lot of these people take way too much time out of their day to call attention to things that really don't have anything to do with the grand scheme of things when it overall, like the whole example of people coming after Jay and stuff when he was doing the whole thing for Gina's charity. I mean, it was for human trafficking. They didn't give a shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
They wanted to shut it down. That's what they don't care.
So let's have a look at what these claims are. Apparently, she's super, super transphobic, right? So the Dawson family is saddened and disappointed by these false and baseless allegations. We look forward to addressing the plaintiff's claims in court. And then they denied the claims and reiterated her support for the transgender community. And that was in an interview with Variety. And she says, well, firstly, I just want to say I understand that and why people were concerned and are concerned. I would be too if I heard some of those claims. Why would you? You wouldn't be concerned. You just go, oh, it sounds like an honest mistake, mate. Just sounds like an honest mistake. But I mean, as we're seeing right now in these past months and just recently, actually, the truth is coming out. Every single claim of discrimination has been dismissed by the person who made them. And as you've said, the fact that this is coming from someone I've known since I was a teenager, the better part of my life, and who my family was trying to help, as we have many times in the past, it really just makes me sad. I still have great empathy for him. The reason that all the discrimination claims were dropped is because they didn't happen. I was raised in a very inclusive and loving way, and that's how I've lived my entire life. I've always used my voice to fight for, lift up, and empower the LGBTQA community, and use my platform to channel trans voices in fiction and non-fiction work that I've produced and directed. So I feel the record is really clear.
And that's pretty much what Gina said too, really, if you compare it to what she said.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Quite literally. I fight for people. I fight for marginalized people. This, that. You know, I've gotten in fights for that as well. Was what she says. But then this is, you know, this is part of the sort of backlash that was occurring as well. I mean, this says it all. Twitter fans say Rosario Dawson is transphobic. Asks for recast. Like it fucking matters what they think.
That's
well, this we actually have a date for, and obviously the last one came out after she had been cast already too.
Yeah, absolutely. So this was in March, and this is some of the. And remember, there's no bullying. Remember, guys, they don't bully anyone, do they? No, of course not. Yes, I have been looking at gym stuff. Obviously. So on Twitter, hashtag recast Ahsoka can be found circulating in between tweets. I've got to pause this. Fuck off. Fuck you and your autoplay.
I know, I hate those.
Scumbags. One of which pointing to a lawsuit that actress and her boyfriend are currently intertwined in claiming both attacked a transgender employee in Los Angeles last year. Transphobe playing Ahsoka Tano will not be allowed. I haven't seen TCW yet, but I don't like the idea of having a transphobe play a character I'm going to grow to love. Recast Ahsoka. Please read this, everyone. Fuck me.
Pay attention to me.
And again, no one's bullying anyone. No. Recast Ahsoka. No one wants a stinky transphobe. How about casting a non-transphobic person to play Ahsoka? Like Tati Gabrielle? Yeah, it's just like, but this is the stuff. This is the stuff that they, you know, these are the stands that inverse thing was.
Some of them are, yes. I can see some of the names in the pictures. That I can see, yes.
Oh no! I mean, these are the people that the inverse army is trying to rally up, right?
But see that the Marina one there, that's clearly not a stand. Retro Jedi, that might be. You got to look at their names and their pictures, though. That's the thing, is they're trying to create this idea that it's only these people that are doing it when it's not. That's the big lie.
Just crying for attention.
Yeah.
It's actually, it has. Yeah, there's been some weight to it now.
Some, but not all.
Let's have a look at the latest then. So they literally started the moment Gina Carano was fired.
Well, that part, yeah. I thought you meant the stands. Like, so it's not just stands doing it, though. That's my point.
They're trying to catapult
staff kayfabe mom and bear. That's not.
So they're trying to catapult off the Gina Carano situation straight away, and then say calls for.
Which is what I said we were going to do.
Why don't we say how they work?
Well, they started doing it for Chris Pratt as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he's a different thing. That's Marvel.
No, I know, but it's still that sort of, you know, trying to drag people down sort of situation.
Yeah, they're trying, but see, Marvel's a little different than Star Wars fans. They don't give a shit. That's why they've abandoned the comics already. Like, they're not even acknowledging that fact. Is they're still trying, but like, it's like you're not going to win that audience over. It's not as diverse as Star Wars, and I don't mean diverse as in like different people, but I mean as huge as Star Wars. I mean, Star Wars they've killed, though, unfortunately at this point. But
like, Marvel fans have even accepted James Gunn back. Like, they completely forgot about that. They're so on board with the Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Everyone's just engaged with it as well. Like,
well, just according to their listing of the ratings about how these things work, WandaVision is still below Mandalorian when it was in repeat time area.
Oof. Okay. Damn. That's not
and good. Cobra Kai beat both of them. So, again,
wow.
I think WandaVision was due to the first 3 episodes being how they were, and I think that turned off a lot of people because
people came back for that 4th episode, but then this killed all momentum. Okay. And then we heard that's why they were ramping up all that advertising in the last 2 weeks for WandaVision, even more than they were already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And as far as I know this is off topic, but you know why they put those, you know, those trailers like that Black Widow one there? That's why you can never trust the numbers, because that's generally attached to like a YouTube video.
Oh yeah, it'd be embedded.
That's where you'll get a situation where a video will have like 250,000 views, but only 1,000 upvotes or something like that. That's what that is.
Yeah.
That's how you can artificially make a trailer look like it's doing well.
Yes. Real quick. No, my name is not Jeremy. I don't know where that's come from, but no, my name is not Jeremy. at all. My name is actually out there, believe it or not.
Yeah.
My first name is. It's literally there. It is out there. So
I know it, but I think I forgot it on purpose just so I don't slip. I do that shit.
Yeah, I mean, my preference is obviously just to be called H. Whilst I'm here doing this, this is where that moniker should be titled. Yeah. Again, it's just out of respect, isn't it? If someone prefers that whilst they're in this situation, but whilst I'm sort of out and about and things like that, then obviously this is a sort of a different story, which actually coincidentally is a good way of switching off, because then you have you sort of your internet kind of
alter ego.
Well, but it's not an alter ego, because this is quite literally who I am. I mean, there's been plenty of people that have met me that will attest to that, and we'll just go, well, literally exactly the same individual. But it's just nice to have that. Anyway, whatever. I digress. So the whole point of this was quite literally just to discuss the fact that Inverse comes out with that bloody article, which is absolutely it's just a rallying cry. It's just a rallying cry to these utter morons trying to go, go attack them now. Let's go. Let's do it. Rather than just allowing things to happen organically. They're literally trying to get the baying mob to go. I'm sure we can all agree with that.
Pretty much supporting what Gina had posted on her Instagram anyway.
Yeah. Trying to get something started up. And the article's from 2 days ago as well. So they're obviously...
It's not working.
They're trying to use the Gina Carano momentum to start the Rosario Dawson thing, but it's not going to work again. There's there'd be even more of an upcry if they fire Rosario Dawson and...
But I wonder why. Like, why would there be much more of an upcry? Like, why?
Because Ahsoka's no disrespect to Cara Dune, but it's, I know she was Gina Carano was the most searched person I think on Google last week, wasn't it? Above Disney but Ahsoka is a much bigger player within the Star Wars universe. That would disappoint more Star Wars fans, especially with the direction they're going in.
Well, no, so I disagree. She has the potential to be.
Okay.
At the moment.
But for me, with the Clone Wars season 7 as well, and how much that was Ahsoka centric. And then with Rebels as well, and then what the Mandalorian tease, I just find that's just my opinion, that Ahsoka is a bigger character, especially with what her show.
But that's what I mean. She is a bigger character, but she has the potential to be a bigger deal. She's not yet, because people might watch the show and go, "Well, actually, she's pretty shit," to be honest.
Yeah,
because a lot of people would really see much of her. It was a lot of but we didn't see
one episode. It was one episode, because a lot of people after that episode, I saw a lot of people saying, regardless of her past or whatever she's done, they're like, oh, Rosario Dawson's not my Ahsoka. It's Ashley Eckstein. She's my Ahsoka, the girl who voices her in the Clone Wars and Rebels. A lot of people were just not on board with Ahsoka's performance or portrayal with the Rosario Dawson. So I get what you're saying there as well.
Yeah.
Because it was just one episode. No one's going to know how that's going to fit into a series.
Well, look, some characters are interesting when they interact with others, not necessarily by themselves. Again, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I mean, Tom, what do you think?
No, I mean, which part of it?
Any of it, Tom. Take your pick, mate. I can tell you not paying attention.
I got my phone going off the hook here, man. I'm sorry.
I'm going to be honest.
You just got to be honest rather than go to which bit.
Yeah, which bit? I didn't hear the last part. So
basically,
Ellie, you said it. Well, you say it again.
Yeah, I was basically
sorry.
I was basically saying that I reckon in terms of character-wise, no disrespect to Gina and Cara Dune, Ahsoka is a bigger deal within Star Wars, and H was saying that she has the potential to be a bigger deal. But I think Ahsoka is up there because of the Clone Wars, and then the hype surrounding Clone Wars season 7, and then Rebels season 4, how they left it open-ended, and then the Mandalorian had that massive reveal at the end, which ties in exactly to how Rebels ended, and that got a lot of the Star Wars fandom really excited. And I'm going to be straight up honest. If you asked me before when Ahsoka was cast in live action, I was against it in terms of I'd rather see an animated, because I feel like some characters are better portrayed in animated than transferred to live action. And I did like Ahsoka's performance, Rosario Dawson's performance as a live action Ahsoka, but I can understand how some people would have been disappointed because some people were so attached to Ashley Eckstein's like voicing of her and how they grew up, I guess, with her, and then seeing like Rosario Dawson on screen as Ahsoka, I can see how a lot of people would have been saying that, oh, this is not my Ahsoka. So
it's funny. Okay, yeah, now because I remember the first part we were talking about. Like, yeah, here's the thing. Like, I think you're right to a point, and I think part of it started like the original stuff going after her.
Yeah.
Was more so that these people didn't want her playing the part, but they didn't know how to say it without coming off like racist, so they latched onto the transphobe thing.
Okay. Yeah.
And now it's just a matter of they got to get rid of her. And you know, the inside the Lucasfilm thing, they want to get rid of her too. Now Filoni is one of those that he's an interesting cat. Like, I'm not so sure what side he's on. Honestly, I think he's an opportunist where he saw a deal with Favreau to where he could integrate a lot of the stuff that he's done, and Ahsoka's his baby, right? Like, I got to imagine when the decision was made to toss out the EU, he wasn't happy. Because as you know, Ellie, he had a lot to do with that, like you said, with Clone Wars and all that kind of stuff. So outside of Clone Wars, all the other stuff that they worked on got tossed to the side.
Yeah.
So,
Go ahead. But you can see his input as well within The Mandalorian, because the Ahsoka episode, Filoni, he directed that.
Oh, so yeah, Favreau says he trusts, and I mean, basically, Favreau basically admits that he's not up to speed on all the other stuff.
Yeah, he knows
and Filoni is his window into that stuff. So he does use Filoni for that, which is correct. This is what he should be doing. I mean, that's because Filoni's been there. He was George's protege. He, you know, he's been a part of this stuff now for what, 10, 15 years. Like or hate what he's done, he does deserve to be there. But again, I don't know what his politics are as far as if he would give a shit one way or another about Gina. Now, Favreau, I know when she says people have gone to bat for me, we know he probably has.
Yeah.
Because I can almost guarantee, I think he's even said it in an interview where he basically wrote that character for her.
Wasn't there some people were doing videos recently and I couldn't figure it out, but someone was like, oh, Jon Favreau's pissed. Is there anything that came out about that or not?
I've heard some stuff, but here's the thing. He's still silent. He hasn't, there's a lot of people who are like, oh, well, Favreau, he's such a pussy for not saying anything. Yeah, but they've tried canceling him before for other shit.
He has to be careful.
And again, he may be, I'm not saying he's untouchable at all because, yeah, he's powerful, but he's not nearly as powerful as Kathleen Kennedy or any of these other people. And I got to imagine he's losing his shit right now because she basically destroyed his shows, all of them.
Yeah, a big part is destroyed. Yeah, rewriting the character now. There's a lot to be going on with the Mandalorian now.
I mean,
but
I've heard though he was upset, because he had nothing to do with it. He went to bat for her, and that was the whole thing. Was that the Rangers was supposed to be her show, so now that's shot in the foot. And if they come after Rosario, then that show's shot in the foot. Then the only
didn't Gina say that Favreau is the one that called her up and we would like to meet up in an interview?
Yeah, I think from what I remember, like I even think like he wrote the character for her was my point. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
But like Favreau and Filoni, you can tell they've been working together, and Mandalorian is their baby. Like,
well, he worked a little bit on Clone Wars. He even said that once too. So
it's not just Ahsoka. There's so many elements from the Clone Wars and Rebels within the Mandalorian. For instance, Bo-Katan, the Darksaber itself. Like, it's just, you can tell it's been them two working it out together. And then there's been a lot of input from George Lucas. You've seen photos. George Lucas has been on set, so clearly he has been there giving him creative guidance as well.
Yeah, he has been. Oh, yeah, he's pictured there with Grogu, isn't he? Baby Yoda. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'll tell you.
Grandkid.
Huh?
It's my grandkid. That's all, guys. The key to everything. If we can make him work.
Great grandkid at this point, I'd imagine.
Pretty much, yeah.
God damn.
Yeah, but he's 50.
True. Very true.
No, I can't even imagine George Lucas is all that happy with a lot of this stuff either.
Oh, it's.
I mean, he's let it be known in some ways, but
a lot of people have let it be known in some ways. Like Mark Hamill has as well. Like it's just the whole situation surrounding Star Wars is it's going downhill.
But
Yeah,
I think it'll be interesting to see how it. Yeah, I think it'll be very interesting to see how it progresses from here.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, it's not going to catch on, but it might. Like, I think it's a case of like if she steps out of line, just the tiniest.
Oh yeah, definitely. They'll pounce on it.
Yeah. Mark Wockel. My God, Mr. H was right. The CW Lois and Clark pilot was very digestible. Cool show, and excited for the next episode. T, it's not just me. I've reviewed.
no, I've
Lois
had a lot of
Lois.
people tell me that actually.
Mate, Superman and Lois, it was bloody good. I had a good time with it.
I'm gonna
I was
check
amazed. I am amazed. I'm genuinely amazed. Yeah, it was pretty bloody good, to be honest.
I think it'll be online today.
Say that again.
I think it's supposed to be online today. I don't know if it's on HBO Max or what, but
yeah, no idea. I know that they have the involvement in it, don't they?
Somebody said that, but then also the thing is what has kept the CW shows afloat for all these last few years has been their Netflix deal. But now I know like one of the other, I think Batwoman wasn't made with the Netflix deal, and I'm assuming this might not be either. So if that's the case, I think they do go straight to HBO Max.
Do they have a Netflix deal? Is that in the
They
States?
do it's just in the States. And it basically
it's shown for free on platforms.
No, well, what it is like, okay, so it used to be like when the shows would air, they would go to like Hulu or whatever, but only for like 2 weeks. And then you couldn't see them anymore. Like you'd have to have them like on your DVR or through a cable service. So what Netflix did is they did a deal then when they got the shows right away and they were all there and you didn't have to wait. Because otherwise you'd have to wait till the end of the season to get the whole season to drop. Right, so then they made a deal, and basically the money they made from Netflix, they were using to run all those shows on CW. That's why they had like, all those shows still going all that time. So like, they would go straight from there to Netflix. Well, from what I remember, Batwoman was the first one not to have that deal. So that's possibly.
I fucking wonder why.
Well, they were trying to use that to push the DC. I think they're trying to use that Titans in that one to push the DC app that never took off.
Right. Yeah. Well, the moment they launched that, and then they said that they're doing HBO Max, I was like, it's going to be just brought into that. Like I said it. And what happened? Like Christ, of course they're gonna just combine it all. Jack, valued member of these streams, has dropped on. Late but still valued member. Thank you for dropping on, dude. Always appreciate your input. But this one will be live after the fact, though, guys. It will be on the channel after the fact. So please do, if you're late or whatever and you've missed it and things like that, just go back and watch it from the start. It will still be on the channel. When we have specific core topics and things like that, we do keep them on the channel. So and also, ladies and gents, if you didn't know, I do these live streams every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So it's 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. GMT. So figure out where in the world you are with that and join them every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday. They're good fun, good ways to maintain some semblance of sanity. And I think I actually just spoke with Andre via WhatsApp, and I said, "Hey, want to do a Dread review, like shot by shot, basically, not shot by shot because it would take like fucking 12 hours, but just go through it like a Dread mega review." So we got that one coming up at some point. And I also want to do another stream, just for anyone that's watching this and is curious. I want to do another stream talking about the Predator, just to sort of discuss the ins and outs behind that a little bit more, and just not the Predator, but the new Predator film. So yeah, we shall see. Tom, so it's on the CW website, is it? You said?
Yeah, it looks like it's on the CW website and Hulu.
It's genuinely good. Like it's a Bird Boy, a little off topic, but check out Medium game where you play as a true strong female character with powers to move between afterlife and real life. Oh, interesting. That could be fun. I still need to download The Shore, and I'm going to just play it here on the channel. Sundays are my Alien Isolation playthrough days, if you didn't know. But I will download The Shore and just play it at some point for everyone. So should be good.
Yeah, this is not part of the deal with Netflix and CW. Okay. which also included All American in Riverdale.
Okay.
And
Wasn't Riverdale cancelled though?
I think so, but like, it's on Hulu for a limited time, so it's got the old deal, like I was just saying,
Right.
and then it will go to HBO Max. So
right, okay.
So yeah, but you can watch it for free right now on the CW website, I believe, in the US. I don't know about outside the US, but hey, if you have a VPN, and I know you have one, I won't mention ours.
Yeah, no, don't, because I literally the day I fucking advertised for this bloody NordVPN crap, you're like, Surfshark. I'm like,
I could have stopped laughing.
We almost went with them, but Surfshark gave us a better deal, and we actually used.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that, like, just to get real with everyone in the chat, like, I have only ever ran 2 adverts, paid sponsors on my channel, 2 ever in my entire time here on YouTube, because it's normally just garbage. It's all trash. Yeah. And I don't want to sell trash to you guys. Like, I did one, and it was trash. It was like I think it was literally Raid Shadow Legends.
Right, I was about to say Raid Shadow. That's like,
and I didn't want to do it, but YouTube was really crap at the time, and I was like, I really do need to do it because I had to move house, and I was like, so I need it. Like, I need the money. And I have never done one since. That was years ago now. But then we've been coming up with this, like, when you're a YouTuber, you do get these emails fairly often, like, "Oh, can I advertise on your channel?" And I just delete. But then we get the we get to this year.
Scams, to be honest, but
well, there's a lot of scams. But we get to this year, and I'm like, God damn! Like, everyone's like, "How do I watch this? How do I watch that?" And I'm like, well, I keep saying, I'm like, well, download it illegally or a VPN. And I'm like, well, actually, a VPN, if I can get people a good deal, would actually be a fucking good advert. So then I get NordVPN
because we use it, yeah.
So then I get NordVPN, and I'm like, well, actually, it makes sense. Like, I can advocate for this now. Like, it's a good thing to advertise. Goddamn, I wish I live in a 1-bed house, literally a 1-bed house. I wish I lived in a mansion. That'd be epic. I don't even own this house. I rent this house.
I got lucky where I'm at, and I still pay a little too much.
Yeah. Jack says, did you see the Screen Rant article? Higher ups at CW ignored calls for actors of color to be cast as Martha and Jonathan Kent. Changes in CW. Yeah, so that's why one of the writers' room got fired and then gone off spouting about racism. And it was one of the writers of this show, Superman and Lois. And yeah, it was like, I mean, there's nothing racist about it. You're not like, it's
who the characters are.
That's an established character. You shouldn't change the race for reasons. Like, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
You know, sorry. And yeah, so the article, like, I can completely understand that the article is there. In terms of changes at CW, this one is being more handled by HBO Max. So I don't know whether it's necessarily changes at CW, but it's changes definitely in management. Yeah, like, it's definitely changes in management of shows somewhere along the line. Whether it's because HBO Max are kind of getting involved a little bit more. I don't know. But yeah, it's a bloody good show like that. Look, the first episode was good. It might go to shit, of course, but I'm going to praise the show when it's good, and the first episode was good. Apparently I should be sponsored by Men's Shaving. I haven't shaved for a while, actually. I've got my beard's coming back, guys. And my hair's all curly and shit.
Oh, beard.
Awful. I had a massive beard at one point. Hands up in the chat if you're super old school and you know, and you've seen my Viking beard that was like down to here. Super old school. Let me know. Those OGs. No, that's not OG. Okay. Proper old school. It was about
your face
3 years ago now. No, a little bit past that. About 3 years ago now. I had a proper long beard. Yeah, proper long beard.
I remember our first stream together, like the video where we looked like a mess. It was so funny.
Oh dear. What's this? Please never do the Raycon ads. That's like in-ear headphones, isn't it? No, I'm not interested in that. Nah, I'm good. I got wired. Blasphemy. I got wired ones. Just one less thing to charge up. I'm so fucking sick of charging things up all the time. So bored of that crap. Zero do. Go full Viking again. Yeah, probably not. We'll see. Missed Age won't shave until Manscaped sponsor him. Nah, I will shave again. I just couldn't be bothered for a while, to be honest. What was this? Grow beard out, shave head, become Kratos. Oh dear. I'm inadvertently having to grow my hair at the moment because the UK, it actually trended on Twitter, or it was an article on Twitter saying that the UK has one of the world's strictest lockdowns.
Yeah, I saw that article on that, actually.
Can you fucking believe it? So yeah, everything's closed. I can't get a haircut, sadly. So yeah, not good. Not good at all. Shame. Shame, shame, shame. Such is life. But anyway, guys, I think that about wraps it up, really. Kind of drawn to a natural close here, and people are just talking about my beard now. So probably wrap it up here.
My phone's not ringing, yeah. I've only got like 10 appointments coming up here, so it's just like, Jesus.
Oh, well, let's round it out here then, Tom. Where can people find you, mate?
Oh, you can find me on Midnight's Edge After Dark, and hanging out all over the place. I generally pop up somewhere.
Yeah, you are just streaming all over the show. Yeah. Ellie, where can people find you?
You can find me on YouTube at Ellie Moses. I'm on Twitter and Instagram as well at Ellie Moses14. Come along if you enjoy the content. I do Flicks and Bricks. I've been doing it live lately. It's a series where I build Lego and talk about films. And lately we've built some awesome Lego mosaics. I built a Darth Maul Lego mosaic last week, which is pretty cool in 2 hours with the stream. So that was unbelievable. It was really fun, actually. And we got to talk crap about Star Wars for 2 hours.
Some interesting, different content, original style content. Go and check it out. And ladies and gents, you can obviously find me on the channel that you're fucking on at the moment, obviously, if that wasn't apparent to you. And you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Mistage Reviews. It's just my name over here. Please do follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to push that now for some weird reason. But there are photos of me and my dog and some gym stuff, and also my bodybuilding days as well. There's some pictures of that on there. Yeah, if you're interested in that crap, to be honest. Cupnicks, you're a grifting twat, and you're a bit of a cunt that's now blocked. So see you later, mate, I guess.
That word would cancel the stream.
Hey?
I thought that word wasn't allowed to be used on your stream.
Like, what, cunt?
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
It probably get taken down, but
yeah, I was just like, because you upload.
Use it every now and then when it's when it's important. If we get one just drifting into the chat every now and then, I'm going to say it, aren't I?
Yeah, I didn't care.
Look, got to call them out. Anyway, Instagram, Twitter, Mistage Reviews. Don't be a cunt. Cheers.